Mama asked him to. Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Mariam Data Science Wali and I am a student at Ryan School from Carnival campus on an academy in Lebanon. Today, my interview is a special guest name is Gordon. First of all, welcome to our show Mariam Talks and interview. Thanks for coming my interview and I asked many questions for life journey and work. So hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
So first of all, I request you please introduce yourself for my viewers.
Hi, so my name is Gordon Treadgold. I'm a Global Guru's top 30 leadership expert and speaker. I worked for 30 plus years in IT, leading large teams and driving transformation. So this is where I got the leadership expertise, and now I look to coach and train and speak on leadership.
Okay, that's great. So my first question is, what is your work?
What is my work? So my work I do I consult with companies, I help them run projects, but I also coach and develop leaders, helping people become better at leadership and better at delivering the results they desire. And as I say, with a 30-year record of leading large programs and transformations successfully, I think that the skills I picked up in that time position me ideally to do that.
Okay, what is your manage our time in your life?
What is my major?
Time in your life.
My major time. Do you mean
Yeah.
one of the big achievements that I've done? I would say probably on a resume perspective, the biggest project I ever ran was we were looking to. I was working for a company who were looking to transform their IT services, reduce their costs by $210 million, and look to try and keep performance levels at the same level while they did that. And I ran that program, and over a 7-year period, I saved them $350 million, and at the same time improved performance by 50% and up to 500% in the various components of the service. So I would say that was my biggest success in the corporate world.
Okay. What did you choose to work in international business?
What did what did I
Uh,
do?
what did what did you choose to work in international business?
I don't think I chose to work in international business when I first started, excuse me, when I first started, I was working in regional business, in local business. I worked for a company called British Shoe Corporation, who sold shoes in the UK, and then I worked for London Electricity. But as I had more and more success and was recruited into bigger projects, I started getting asked to run national and then international and then global projects. So it wasn't really a choice that I made. It was something that happened, because of the success that I had. It's a bit like, playing football. If you get better at football, you get asked to play for the bigger and better teams and then play for the national team. And I guess it was that happened. I didn't start out thinking I want to be work on an international level. When I started out, my goal was to become a project manager.
Okay, that's nice. So, what do you enjoy most about your job?
So, what do I enjoy most about my job? Well, that's changed over the years. When I first started, I used to take on projects that were complex, that people said couldn't be done, and that I was crazy for signing up for that project. And I used to love delivering those things and proving people that they were wrong, that they'd underestimated me, or that that project couldn't be delivered. But now, what I love is doing the same, but for other people. So, coaching and developing leaders, and then seeing that look of surprise on their faces when they deliver or achieve something that they previously thought was not possible. So that's what gives me pleasure now. I used to do it for myself. Now I help other people enjoy that same feeling.
Okay. So, what is the biggest lesson you learn in your career?
Biggest lesson I've learned in my career. Um, I think it's something that we probably all know already. Nobody does anything significant on their own. You have to do it with a group and a team of people. And in order to be successful, you've got to take the people on that journey with you. And to do that, you've got to make sure that there's something in it for them and that they have a good understanding of what it is they need to do. And as leaders, it's our job to set them up for success so that we can then achieve the goals and things that we need. So it's not all about us, it's about the people that are going to take us on that journey. And our role is to put them in a position where they can do the absolute best that they can do if we want to achieve great and amazing results.
Okay, that's great. Do you like traveling in Pakistan?
Do I like traveling in Pakistan? I've never
Yeah.
been, I've never been to Pakistan. I've been to India multiple
O-
times, and I know India's a different country to Pakistan, but never been to Pakistan. I would love to come to Pakistan. I'm a big cricket fan, so I would love to come and see England play Pakistan at some time, do some work there, and take an opportunity to see some cricket and enjoy the amazing Pakistani food and culture.
Okay. How does traveling help you in your work?
So, so I think traveling broadens the mind, and the more you interact and engage with cultures, the more you can understand them and see the um, differences, but also the similarities between us all. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to do a good job, and I think I would say more than traveling internationally, but having lived in many countries and worked with global teams, I think the what that's taught me and helped me develop is an ability to communicate better. Because when everybody you deal with, and I've led some really large teams. When I lived in Germany, I had a team of 1,000 people, and less than 5% of the team English was their mother tongue. So everybody I was speaking to, I had to speak clearly, simply, concisely in order to be understood and for them to be able to then go and follow the actions and activities that we were looking for. So I think that's probably the biggest lesson from that traveling and dealing internationally is understanding the importance of clarity in communication.
Okay, that's great. Can you share any tip for doing business in other countries?
So I think when we're dealing with other countries, we need to understand the culture and make sure that we are um, aligning with the values and aspirations of that culture. Because when we do that, it's more likely to be embraced. It's more likely for people to engage and want to be involved with us. If we go against or conflict with the cultures, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to be successful. And
Okay.
I'll give you an example of that with I had I had a team of about 350 people when I was working um, in corporate in a senior role, and I had 350 people working in India, and without doubt, I was the most popular manager that dealt with the Indians, and this was because I understood their love and passion for cricket. So we used to have employee of the month, of the quarter, of the year awards, and people would be looking to buy, um, give gifts, and they would give gifts that they felt that they would like. But when you come from a different culture, you've got to be looking at giving the gifts that those people would like. So I used to buy a lot of cricket memorabilia, and especially anything signed by Indian cricket players. So when we were doing that, we were engaging with a passion and aligning with a common a common passion, and that allowed us to create a much stronger connection and engagement. So we need to understand the culture and align and work with it rather than against it.
Okay, that's great. So, what is your hardest part of your job?
Hardest part of my job. So to be honest, the hardest part of my job is being who I am. And I'm a open leader who likes to engage with the team, be connected with the team. And I say this is difficult because a lot of other leaders that I work with at my level, they don't want to lead in that same way. They want to be more command and control. And so I receive a lot of positive feedback from the teams that work for me, but a lot of negative feedback from bosses and my peers because they don't want to lead the way that I lead, and that makes it difficult because the people that I work for are the ones that choose to promote me, and not the people who work for me that love the way I lead them. So that's a difficulty that I have to deal with. And I'm not going to change the way I lead because the people that work for me love it and we achieve amazing results. However, whilst you might think that delivering good results is enough to have a great career, you've also got to fit in with the culture of the people above you. And if they want to lead in a different way, that can make it difficult for you to progress. Sometimes you're more tolerated because of the results you achieve rather than embraced. And for me, that's difficult because why wouldn't you want to be a better leader yourself? Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so my next question is, do you have a favorite country to work with and why?
Favorite country to work with and why? I don't think so. When I was in my last corporate role, I had teams and in many different countries, and I liked working with all of them. I will say that working with Asian companies was a big pleasure because the demographic was different. In Europe, a lot of the teams I worked with, people were, maybe 10 years younger than me that reported to me and were leading there. Whereas in Asia, quite often, a lot of the people there were in their late 20s, early 30s, and there was a much more dynamism and energy. So I really like that because I'm somebody who tries to be dynamic and energetic myself. So working with younger people was always a bonus, and that that happens more in the Asian countries than in the European countries.
Okay, that's great. So, what is your favorite personalities?
My favorite personalities. Um, are you asking for a name of somebody or the kind of person that I like?
Okay, what is your favorite foods?
Oh, sorry, for that last question, are you asking me to name somebody like, Nelson Mandela as somebody who I admire, or are you asking me what kind of person do I like? Because if it's the latter, then the one thing that impresses me more than anything is kindness. It costs nothing to be kind, and yet so many people choose not to do that, and I don't understand that. So I'm always attracted to people who show kindness. It's how I try to operate, and I think, as I say, it costs us nothing and it can give us everything.
Okay, so what is your favorite fruits? Any do you like it?
So I'm gonna be careful when I say this. I love Indian and Pakistani food, but I don't necessarily love it the way Indians and Pakistanis eat it because I think the flavors are really good. But having been to India, what we think of a spicy curry in England is very mild. When you get to India, and I'm sure it's the same in Pakistan. So I love that kind of food, but I need the temperature dialing down just a little bit compared to the to how Indians and Pakistanis like it.
Okay, what is your hobbies?
My hobbies, I love sport. I'm a big fan of sport, football. I'm a big Leeds United supporter. I love rugby. That was the sport that I played more than any, and I would have loved to have been a professional rugby player. I just wasn't big enough or fast enough. And of course, being from Yorkshire, I'm a huge fan of cricket. Yorkshire is probably the cricket capital of the world. So many great players have come out of Yorkshire. So a big fan of cricket, but pretty much any sport. I like the competition. I like to look and see how teams work and how teams get inspired and see, underdogs beating the favourite because they've got a plan and they're inspired to achieve. Other than that, I like travelling. Um, I probably visited over 50 countries. I love to travel, meet new people, and then I would say probably cinema and reading are my other hobbies. What about you?
Oh,
What are your hobbies?
okay.
No, no,
How, how
answer my,
are you?
answer my question now. What are your hobbies?
Okay. My hobbies is I like reading books. For example, Islamic books, stories books, and Holy Quran.
What type?
And
I didn't hear the first word. What type of book? You sounded like
I like
post. but I don't think that's what you said. So
Okay.
what type of books do you like?
I say again. So I like Holy Quran book and Islamic books, and I love reading the books. And my next hobbies is I speak truth and I never lie. So these my hobbies.
Okay, cool. Very good.
Okay. So next question is, what is your talent?
My talent, it's not singing, that's for sure. My I think my talent is I have a few talents. I think I'm very good at problem solving, and I think the other thing that I'm very good at is explaining things simply, being able to break down complex concepts and explain them to people in a way that allows them to understand. And as I said, that comes from having led global teams where their first language isn't English. And that forces you to communicate in a much simpler way so that everybody can understand. And I do think that's a real talent, and not enough people practice it or have that skill.
Okay. So how are you doing in your free time?
In my free time, well, I'm very passionate about what I do in the leadership space. So I spend a lot of time creating content, writing. Um, I've just started creating my own podcast, Fast Leadership Show, which we'll be launching next week. I think on Wednesday, if I'm incorrect. But other than that, then it's watching sport, watching TV, or traveling and going out walking. I live only an hour. Sorry, an hour. I live only 1 mile from the beach, so I like to walk down and visit the beach and walk along the beach. That's probably the most relaxing thing for me to do.
Okay. So what is your favorite season?
As I'm older now, my favourite season is summer. I like warmer weather than cool weather. But when I was younger, my favourite season was autumn because it was always the start of the rugby season, and I was a very passionate rugby player. So as we got round to September, I could start cleaning my boots, doing my physical preparation for the start of the new season. So autumn was my favourite season.
Okay, that's great. So what is your favorite snacks?
My favourite?
Snacks.
No, I didn't get that.
What is your favorite snacks?
No, I'm not understanding your question.
Okay. I tell you about the chat.
No, I didn't understand that. Sorry.
Okay, I tell you about the chat.
What's my favourite snacks? Sorry, I thought you said chats. What are my favourite snacks? Um, mm, mm, mm. Biscuits. I love biscuits. I love ginger biscuits.
Okay. So my last question is, what is your favorite sweet dishes?
My favourite sweet dish. Um, I love gooseberry crumble. gooseberry or raspberry, rhubarb crumble. Those are my two favourite desserts with custard. A little bit of tart and sweet.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. So, what is your favorite cities?
My favourite city. Um, Paris is fantastic. The food, I speak French, so it's an opportunity to speak French. Great things to see. So I would probably say my favourite city is Paris.
Okay. What is your favorite book?
My favourite book, Marathon Man.
Okay. What is your favorite countries?
My favourite countries. I love Spain, where I live now. Obviously, being English, I love England. I like Egypt a lot. People are very, very friendly. I love the weather and all of the history in Egypt. Um, I've been to India many times. I really like India. Just been to Japan for the first time, and I would say Japan is absolutely amazing. It's a complete um, culture shock in how different it is to a lot of Western countries. But it's a shock in a good way, and it's a mix of absolutely the latest technology and a lot of old tradition as well. So I like Japan and Tokyo.
Okay. So my last question is, do you have any things? Do you interested in these things?
So I didn't understand the question.
Okay. Uh, okay. Do you have any website?
Yeah, I do. So my name's Gordon Treadgold. I'm the only Gordon Treadgold in the world. So if people want to find me, they can just do a Google search on Gordon Treadgold or go to my website, www.gordontreadgold.com.
Okay. Next question is, what is your name means?
My
Name means.
my name means. Um,
Yeah.
I don't think it has any meaning. I would say for a lot of people, it means trouble. When they see me coming, they think here comes trouble. Gordon's a Scottish name. I never Googled to see what it means. Maybe I should do
Okay.
that.
Okay. What is your good habits and bad habits?
Oh, bad habits, eating too many biscuits. Good habits. I would say I'm quite perseverance. Perseverance is a talent multiplier. If you've got a little bit of talent and you really stick at it and keep going, you can achieve amazing things. A lot of big goals are an accumulation of small victories. So if you've got perseverance, that's really good. And then I think the other one, which is probably helped me more in leadership than any other, and that is kindness. If you show people that you care about them, care about your work, care about the results you achieve, that will take you a long, long way.
Okay. Do you like coffee and tea?
No, I'm from England, so I drink tea, black tea.
Okay. I like tea
Yeah.
and I love tea. So I
What,
drink
what about chai tea, chai masala? Do you like chai
in
masala?
Yeah.
Masala chai?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Difficult to get here, but I love masala chai with a little bit too much sugar.
I drink in my day in always. I always drink tea in my every routine and every day.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. So my last question is, do you have any advice? So do you give my viewers any advice? Yeah, any message?
Yeah, so I did a TEDx talk in French, and certainly for younger people, I would say that the theme of that talk was about achieving um, big successes, and 4 tips for achieving big successes. Aim high, be bold about what you want, but start small. Give yourself time to achieve it. Start small, focus on something that you can do now that will lead to that goal. Celebrate all of the successes along the journey because that will motivate you, and then keep going. Perseverance is a talent multiplier. Overnight companies tend to take 4 years. Nothing happens overnight, but with hard work and perseverance, we can achieve pretty much any goal. So aim high, start small, celebrate, and keep going.
Okay. Thank you so much again for giving interview, and I am very happy to take in this interview, and I am glad. So that's my interview. I hope viewers you are like my interviews, and do you have learned new thing in this interview? So I end the interview in this time. Now I meet a new interview with new person. So Pakistan Zindabad, Rehan School Zindabad.
So, thank you for the interview. It was my pleasure. And I'm going to be launching a new podcast that is going to take the rocket science out of leadership, and it will help people understand how to be better leaders. And we're going to be launching that in 3 days on November the 5th. Sorry, 2 days on November the 5th.
Okay, so viewers, uh, so Allah Hafiz and Pakistan Zindabad.
Thank
I
you very
meet up. I meet up a new interview with new person. And I can learn something for Mr. Gordon. Thank you so much again for giving interview and coming my show, Mariam Talk. So bye bye. Allah
much.
Hafiz.
Thank you.